Thinking about playing CDDA after watching this. Any tips for a beginner? Yeah. Aside from you know, there's a number of really nice guides out there. Like mentioned. Just early on, the biggest piece of advice I would have is take it slow. It's turn-based. There's no need to rush. You know. And if you're not sure about something, taking your time can easily, you know, make the difference between finding some way to deal with it or, you know, getting wrecked. Yeah, another thing is, although there is an obscene amount of keybinds, right, you don't really need to know all these at all starting out. Definitely, both on this screen, you can search for stuff. Like if you weren't sure about opening a door or inventory or whatever, you can just type it in. It works that way. This also follows for almost every screen in the game, too. So if you look at your inventory and you're like, shit, I picked something up. Like, let's say my inventory was a lot messier than it currently is, and I had a big backpack full of shit, right? And I was like, man, where's my magic 8-ball? You can just, down here, you can see, you can press that to just type stuff in. So you can just type in the 8-ball, and it'll limit it to that. Again, that works on almost every screen in the game. The search functionality is really baked in all over the place. So it makes a lot of this stuff much more approachable than it otherwise would be for a game that has as much depth as this game does. So that's kind of a big deal. Also, really pay attention to every tile around, right? Because they have different move costs. So moving here is just 100, which is kind of like normal. Moving just on this sand already has an increased move cost, right? And some areas have dramatically increased move costs. Like, I'm not sure if I can actually... Do I have vision of anything that would show that off? But I guess like a bush. Like, a bush has 400 move cost. So, within the framework of combat, what that can do for you is you can lure stuff into this. Because especially zombies are pretty stupid. Now, not everything will fall for this, especially if it's a little bit smarter. Like, I don't know if ferals will really fall for it. And they'll be throwing rocks at you and being general assholes anyway. But if you can position yourself so stuff has to step on these, that basically means that only walk in bushes. You don't really want to walk in the bush. But if you can get other stuff to walk in the bush, that means that you get a bunch of free attacks on them, effectively. And if you have something where it lets you throw them, or whatever, then they will have to walk into it again, and you'll get more free attacks. You probably won't have something like that, granted, but, you know, that can be fun when it works. So what you could do is, like, let them move into it, get a couple of free attacks, then back up, try to lure them into another bush, get some free attacks, back up, lure them into another bush, get some free attacks. And if the terrain is suitable enough, you can kill at least regular zombies pretty damn easy. That way. I mean, you still just don't bite off more than you can chew. And when you're kind of like inching towards enemies, definitely take advantage of capital V. And you can press tab if it's not already on monsters to go over to monsters. And there'll be an exclamation mark if something's aggroed on you. Don't try to pull too much. Just like inch forward and take stuff, you know, like one or two at a time.